Welcome, everyone. This is episode 14 of the Dance and Oneness Podcast. My name is Amy Shine. I'm your host. And this week, we have titled the show Body Magic. And I have Dr. Glenna Rice as my guest today. Welcome, Dr. Glenna.
Hi, Amy. I'm so happy to be on your show. I love your title, Dance for Oneness, Dance to Oneness. We're going to have a fun conversation today.
Yes, we're talking about body magic. And I was just telling Glenna before we went live that this is my first show on bodies. Surprise, surprise.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
You're so amazing with bodies.
Yeah.
Me and Amy have known each other for a while now, I think. You brought me out to Ireland. You invited me to Ireland maybe like 7 or 8 years ago to do a body class in Limerick is where we were. And I brought my whole family because they've got their grandparents live in Ireland and my kids came. Yeah. So we've crossed paths around the world for years.
Yeah, we've been playing with bodies and you've been facilitating bodies for many years, right? Do you want to just tell the listeners like a little bit of a background about you?
A little bit. So I was trained as a physical therapist, and that's been a lot of years ago, 30 or something almost, I hate to say. It's a while ago. And I started doing access consciousness. I walked in my first class 15 years ago and started using all the tools they had for bodies, because this amazing work works with bodies. It's a lot of stuff, but one of the big parts of access is empowering your body and empowering you to have an awareness and a different communication with your body. So I started using all the tools in my practice, and then my practice just grew. Well, my abilities grew. What I could do with bodies was just like, oh my God, every day, which now almost seems like a normal way of being with bodies, which you probably recognize because you've been doing body work for years. And then I started teaching the 3-day body class about 10, 11 years ago. And that's been pretty much my business for years, is traveling all around the world a couple times a month to some wonderful country or city on the planet and teaching the body classes, which you're very close to being. You're just there.
Yes, me and Glenna is coming to Florida in the start of February, the 5th of February, and I'm going to facilitate my first 3-day body with Glenna. So I'm excited. Like, I actually was looking for body work before I even knew what body work was. Like, when in my early 20s, when I went through this big transformation in my life, I knew I needed to find body work, and I had no idea what body work was. I just knew I needed to find body work. And I actually, a couple of years later was when I started to find movement and dance as like a therapy, using dance as a way of kind of getting out of my head and into my body. And then very soon after that, I found the tools of access. And I remember like seeing 3-day body class was coming to Ireland. It was actually Shannon and Grace's 3-day body class and Gary's daughters. And I was like, I didn't even know what it was, but I was like, body processes. I saw these pictures of people on these massage tables receiving body work. And I was like, I'm there, I'm having it. And that was that knowing that, I always had this knowing that something else was possible with bodies, and that like it didn't healing and this world of healing and transformation, it didn't happen. Why was it so long and slow? And like, why do we have to like sit there and talk about our feelings, our emotions, and nothing ever changes? I knew there had to be some other possibility. And that's what the access body process kind of did for me. Like you said, like you literally get on the table, someone puts their hands on your belly or your third eye or your thymus, your liver, your spleen, and you get off and you're different.
You're different. Your relationship with your body is different. I remember a class I taught, and because there's this joy of embodiment that starts to show up also. I mean, I love that you were seeking, and you're in Ireland too, where body work is not what it is in America, and you were seeking and you found it, and you found some really amazing work, and what a gift that is to everybody. But the processes, like this one class I was in, and I remember coming down the elevator to the classroom, and it was the 3rd day of class. And hearing this laughter coming from the room that had started out 3 days before, it's kind of, no, everyone is like, what's this about our body? We even have a body, it could change anything. I don't know what to do this body. I've never liked my body. It was really the energy of this class. And the third day, there was this laughter of joy coming when the elevator opened. And I stood there for a minute, this is what this class gives people. This ability to see their body as a gift, to have joy with it, and to change things they never, ever thought was possible with their bodies. And like you said, in a 3-day class, in an hour body process, 5 minutes of just asking questions with your body, you don't have to do all of the work. I did some body work that was like that, where you had to go into your feelings and feel the pain and then release all the trauma and do it over and over and be very emotional with the whole thing. And stuff changed because there was really good work in it. But people also kind of got stuck in their stories a lot, and things didn't really change as much as I know now is possible with bodies. Or I guess I always knew, but just hadn't found it like you had. When I found this and the changes you can create are incredible. Yeah. What have you seen? What have you seen working with bodies, doing these body processes and with the body work you do?
Well, just that energy you just delivered to us, like it's kind of like, I knew that, like, I had this awareness that, like, okay, yeah, we take on stuff, we come in like babies, and we're like joyful and happy, and we're like free in our bodies. And then we grow up in this kind of messed up world, like reality, where it's all judgment. And it's like, no. And like, I remember that moment when I first started judging my body. Like, I think I was like about 10 or 11, maybe 12. And I remember before that, I never had any judgments of my body. And I remember being in this group with a couple of girls, and like, they all had like judgments, like they all had like something they judged about their body. And I remember even thinking, oh God, I have nothing. I better find something, And so I remember looking down and seeing my little belly, like, like tiny little belly, going, oh, my belly's fat. I don't like my belly. And so I created those judgments. And so I even remember that point where I invented judgment. And then then it starts there, and then you keep going. And, and I grew up in Ireland, where there is a lot of body shame. There isn't a lot of joy of embodiment. People don't a lot of people don't enjoy their bodies. And it's not just Ireland, it's worldwide. Like you said it, like a lot of people are so unconscious, they don't even realize that they don't have the joy of embodiment.
Well, they don't even know it exists, really. I mean, they don't, it's even a possibility. I mean, we didn't speak about this in Access for many, many years. I know Shannon O'Hara, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, daughter, would bring it up in a class. Can you talk about the joy of embodiment? And we'd go, nope, not yet. For many years. So this is kind of a new possibility on the planet, being able to access what's available with having joy with your body, having fun with your body, and like being really grateful that you have this body on the planet and you get to play on the planet with it, and it gives you information about everything around you. And that's the thing, that the body class opens you up to being able to access what your body contributes to you and your talents and abilities you have with bodies that you don't probably have a clue. No one would ever have shared that with you, that you're doing all the time, and you can start accessing how you contribute to other bodies, how you can help heal and change and show a different possibility walking on the planet of what to other bodies and what it can be like. Just walking down the sidewalk, other bodies will notice the possibility of something greater. In the body class, these body processes start to open you up. And the body processes, there's like 60 of them in the 3-day body class, and there's an advanced body class. So there's a whole bunch of them that your body gets to choose that will contribute to you.
And like, what are some of the things that you've seen like people change in these body classes? Like, you said joy was one of them. Like, what kind of other, like when you talk about like people opening up to capacities with their bodies, like what kind of capacities do people start opening up to, or have you seen?
Well, like I said, the ability to heal or change or contribute to other bodies. Healing is a weird word because you don't really heal another person, but you can be an energy or show them the possibility that they can heal themselves. Right? Your body can heal other bodies, but the other person has to be in on it too. It's not like you can just go heal somebody that's not into it. If you start to, what have I seen? I've seen people that had like chronic fibromyalgia kind of diagnosis that came to a 3-day class that had no symptoms afterwards. Like, it was gone. I've seen if you want to talk about diseases in this reality that people get prescribed, given the diseases of this reality. Diabetes is like having people have their insulin lowered, people that have stopped smoking, that were smokers, or people who judge themselves for drinking and realize, wow, actually something I enjoy and I don't have a problem, and I thought I did. Or they drink less. It's different for everyone, what you get out of it, but also people that didn't ever work with bodies that now have practices working with bodies, because they realize they always had this ability, when they hugged someone, people felt better. And now what was that? What can they do with that? And how can you access more of it? And having that available and starting to having, like bars practices and access body process practices, doing those and changing people all the time.
Yeah, it's so amazing, because it's not like you have to go to college and study this thing and study for years and figure out how to do it right. It's actually the exact opposite. It's like you go and you like receive these sessions, or you take these classes, and like you said, you start to actually like get the joy of embodiment for you. And then like other people you touch or put your hands on or do sessions on, they start changing. And there's really nothing for you to figure out or learn. It's really like the more you receive, the more you can be, and then that contributes to anyone who comes into your space.
I love that. Yeah. I did a lot of college. I was in university for a lot of years with degrees, and what I use from all that education when I work with bodies is very, very minimal. Usually it's just because I have to write some report to a doctor and sound smart. But what I actually use is my awareness, my knowing, asking questions, what they know, what the bodies know that I'm working with. You get more access to that, like your psychic abilities with your body. Like I said, it gives you information about everything around you, but it gives you information about the bodies that you're around too. That is so different than anything in the educated medical field ever can. They can't even speak about it, truly.
Well, yeah, and because it's so beyond this reality, it's not like something you can actually comprehend with your mind. Like all I know is like people always try to like, well, what is this? And what is the body process? And I'm like come experience it. Like get on a massage table, like have someone put their hands on you, have someone run a body process or take a body process class, and you'll receive the energy, because it's like, I can't like explain to you how this works. Like I can try to, but like all I knew was like I would be like, I was someone who Glenna like would get up in the morning and would have a racing mind and would be running up the mountain roads in Ireland trying to like get the head crap to stop. Like I was constantly so hard on myself, constantly trying to fix what was wrong. And I remember like after I went to actually Rachel O'Brien for when I first found this, I went to her for weekly body process sessions at the start, because I had been taking on so much of like the sadness around me, of the people, the land, Ireland. I was trying to heal everything for everyone else and locking it into my own body. And I could barely eat anything. I had so much like stomach issues. And I went to Rachel every week, and she would run this body process on my belly. And it's like this like melting all the solid stuff, all the stuff I'd locked in, all the control I was doing, all the fixing, and it was just melting. And I remember one day waking up in bed. I used to wake up with a racing mind. I remember one day just waking up and being like, oh, and just like touching my body, and like I didn't have to jump out of bed and like get exercising, and like it was just like, oh, I could like actually like be with my body.
Being with your body. I mean, that's a big part of what these classes offer for you, is with your body, instead of you're existing on you're just existing with the body, but being you with your body and accessing that. And what is that? And I've been asked this question, like, what are the body processes forever? And I don't have an elevator speech to give, pitch to give someone about it, because it's really something you experience to really get what it is. We can talk about what people change and how amazing that is. But the body classes pull your body. So the people that choose these classes, the choice comes because their body tugs them so hard. They're like, what is this? So I've had, people that it was the last class I was going to take in the access, on all the access classes. And I 5 years and I never took the body class, and going, wow, I resisted this so much because I was so in control how my body was in life and this reality, that to let go of that seemed impossible. And I've never felt so amazing. Like, this is actually one of the greatest classes I've been to. The changes I got, with my body. And when you're creating with your body, when you create with it instead of against it, so much more is possible. There's so much more ease to create everything, because your body really has your back. It has a back and it has your back.
It has a back and it has your back. I love that.
Yes.
Your body has a back and it has your back. Or would you say it has a back and has your back?
It has your back and it has a back.
It has a back and it has your back. That's really good. So, like, one of the things I notice a lot, and I remember this at the start when I first started taking these body classes, and because it's also like you're letting go of a lot of points of views, like around what the right food is to eat and the right exercise and how much you should exercise, and if you eat this will happen, and if you eat that will happen. And I remember, and I see this a lot as well too, and it's interesting you said that, like, people resist the body class because they don't want to let go of the control. And it's almost like you think, like, if I let go of all these points of views and I don't judge my body, then I'm going to become this person who never stops eating, or I'll become massive. I'll put on a load of weight.
Three-headed monster.
Yeah. And
it's so common. That is so common. It's like, no, I don't want to because if I let go of control of my body, and what I see, like, this is what you talk about, what you get from the body classes, that is never what shows up. I have never seen anyone create awful with their bodies when they stop controlling them. The bodies are like, let me show you how beautiful I am, how amazing life can be, what we can actually create, how much I enjoy food and movement and playing and giggling and laughing, and the bodies I'm in relationship with. All of these things start showing up. They start to actually enjoy the things they're being with their body all the time. No extra heads have ever popped out of shoulders that I've ever seen yet. That would be crazy.
Yeah. And it's because we're so programmed that you need to judge, because if you don't judge, you will create something awful, rather than actually your body is aware of something, aware of so much more than your actually mind is. And that's where you say your body has all these capacities. Even we talk about movement, when I start to get present with my body moves in ways that I didn't know it could,
Mm-hmm.
And I also get we're barely scratching the surface, so much more is possible.
Yeah,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, people that had resisted some different types of movement, running or dancing or something, realizing, wow, my body actually really loves to do these activities, but never being able to access that because they were there was so many judgments about their body and so much control that their body couldn't even let them have any inkling of what it actually enjoyed.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to, the gift that is to start getting, oh, my body actually enjoys a certain food that I've been avoiding because someone told me it was unhealthy. And realizing, wow, when I have this, I feel so amazing. The taste of it is so joyful, and my body's so grateful that I allowed it to actually have what it enjoys. The changes from that, and it seems really little, but it's so huge to start to create with your body.
Well, and thanks for mentioning the food thing, because we're also going through the holidays at the moment, and I know it's a big trigger point for a lot of people with the food, and overeating or whatever, or eating to numb everything out. And one of the things that is so funny, actually, when you do actually start to get more in your body and present, and you get the kindness you have with your body, and you start to being kind and listen to your body, you actually don't require that much food at all. So one of the things I found is that I would be eating, and after a couple of minutes, my body would be like, I'm done. And I actually couldn't overeat. With enough body work, I was unable to override my body anymore. See, before I was constantly overriding my body, constantly giving it food I didn't want, constantly doing exercise I didn't want. And with all the body work and body process I was receiving, now my body is louder than my mind.
It's louder.
Yeah.
And that's it. Pardon me?
Did you find you had that experience as well?
Oh my God. And this is where we say we think they're going to be, we're going to have extra heads show up, or we're going to just put on all this weight when we start to listen to our body. But this is what shows up. If you can't overeat anymore, because your body's not ever interested in overeating, it's not fun for it. We override our body and control it. And then there's all the other crazy head tripping, which anyone who's doing this totally knows, because they have it all day long around food, that keeps you from having the awareness. But if you just give your body permission to let you know, how much would you like to eat? Just let me know. You don't find that it's just not possible to overeat. You start to realize how awful it feels, how much your body doesn't like it, because your body gives you that information and you're willing to be aware of it instead of pretending it's not there.
Yeah, and it's so brilliant you said that, because also what came up too is around alcohol, and it's also Christmas, like that time where people like overdo it with alcohol or whatever. But I came from AA before I found Access, so I had this big like fear around, if I drink, I'm going to end up drunk again and all this stuff. And I remember it was actually after receiving like a couple of days of body work, and I had my first drink, and I really just wanted to see like, okay, is it true? Is it true that if I have a drink, I'm going to not be able to stop? Or can I trust me now to drink and try this and see, actually, can I have a drink and stop if I don't want it? Yeah. And so I ordered my first drink, and I had done a good bit of body work at this stage. I'd taken a body class, I was getting weekly sessions. And so I ordered a drink and I took the first sip out of it. And as I did, I was like, oh, this is disgusting. I don't like this. And I was like, wow. And I was like, so, okay, that busts the lie that, I'm going to, like, if I have one drink, I'm going to get drunk. That lie's gone. I can actually start to trust me. And then I realized I actually don't really like the taste of alcohol that much. And then, so I got this, like, it's called a West Coast Cooler in Ireland. It's kind of just like one of those, like, very light, like kind of like a sparkling water, fruity drink that has a little bit of alcohol in it. And I had one of them and I was like, oh, I like this, but it was so interesting because with enough body work, I got to see how you actually can't abuse your body anymore with drink, drugs, overeating, even bad relationships, like bad sex, like all of that. Like your body is just like, no, not happening.
You can't abuse your body anymore. You trust your body that it knows and it gives you information that contributes to it, and you can't abuse it. I mean, it's more difficult. I mean, I imagine people can still pull it off, but it's a lot harder to abuse it.
You can pull it off, but it's almost like, it's harder to drink that drink when it tastes like vinegar and your body's screaming at you, I don't want it, before it was like you had no awareness of your body, so you're able to keep drinking. Now it was like, oh, this tastes like vinegar. Okay, I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah, and you become aware of other bodies that you're drinking with, and it's not even yours that wants the other. It's like the awareness your body has of other bodies. When you start to get clear on with your body, with other bodies, you can use it to your advantage. You can use it to contribute to your body. You can use it to avoid these things like over drinking because it never was yours. But I use that all the time in my practice because my body will tell me much more than anything I've ever learned about the bodies that I'm working with. My body shows me. Like I'll have feel something in my neck before someone comes in with neck pain. I'll go, oh, now I know what I'm going to work on with this person today. And they come in, I'm like, what's up? What do you want to change to? And like, my neck is bent. And I'm like, thank you, body.
Wow, yeah. That's amazing. So for anyone listening, like if any of you have like body pains going on or anything right now, you may want to ask, like, what am I aware of? Whose body am I aware of? Am I aware of someone else's body here? Right. And that's the same thing you're saying is like, if you get a craving for a drink, like ask, is it your craving? Like, do you yeah.
Yeah. And I found, I may have been a little weird, but I thought that was so fun when I found out it wasn't mine. I loved to be surprised that my point of view wasn't what I thought it was. I'm like, oh my God, that was never mine.
Yeah, that was my mother's. We have Jonas is on here and he has a question. Hi, Jonas. Hi, Sue Cotter. She's here as well. Z-Bell is asking about us. She's like, will you do an orgasmic money energy pull? We might do something at the end. Jonas wants to know, can you give me a tip on how I can get more body strength?
Strength?
Yeah.
Like being stronger with his body?
Yeah.
Well, first, all of the judgments he has that he's not strong.
Can you now destroy and uncreate them?
Yes. Right. You podpoc on here, right? Wrong, give bad podpoc on 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Because that could be a point of view. And if you have the point of view, I'm not strong, no matter what you're doing, nothing you ever do is nothing is not going to match the point of view you have. So if you are strong, but the point of view is not strong, you'll never see that you're strong. That makes sense.
Yeah, because your point of view
creates reality.
So if you say, I like same thing, like I say, oh, I'm not, or I always say, actually, now I'm catching myself, I say a lot, like I have really bad balance. So that's if I'm constantly telling my body I have bad balance. So then every time I go to do anything that's a balancing pose in yoga, because I do yoga, I stumble a bit to prove that my point of view, my body just delivers to me the point of view I tell it, right?
And you create that. But it's funny because I've seen some of your videos. And you don't have bad balance. That was the last thing that would come out. Oh my God, look at Amy and do it. She's got such bad balance. Never crossed my mind. So your point of view creates your reality. You don't see what doesn't match it. Nothing that doesn't match your point of view, you can see. So it's like, what do you can ask your body, do you want to be stronger? Yes or no? Let it give you some awareness. Okay, what would it take? What would you like to do? What can I be to contribute to that? Like, does it want to go to the gym more? That might be boring for it. Maybe there's other things. And it could just change because you asked. Body, what would it take to have more strength? I mean, do you want to lift heavy things? I'm not sure, do you want to have more endurance? What are the things you're asking for, and what would it take for that to show up? And then don't come up with an answer. Allow the universe and the consciousness, everything around you to start contributing to what that is for you and your body.
Yeah. I actually also like to ask my body, like, I'll just be like, hey, body, like, okay, do you desire this? Do you desire to get stronger? And if you do, show me, like, and sometimes I'll even ask, show me the visuals, and like I might not get it right away, but then maybe later, like I'll see something, or I'm driving somewhere and I see, like, I don't know, like some kind of a class or a gym, or somebody says something to me, hey, Amy, would you be interested in doing this class? And I'm like, and if my whole world, like my whole body goes, ooh, like lightens off and gets bubbly, like that's the energy that matches the energy of what I'm asking for.
If your body almost feels pulled toward it, and there's a lightness, go for it. And if it doesn't work, like the local class, go for it. And if you don't like the class, don't go again. You can walk out of a class, no one's going to do anything to you. Promise.
And also, you can leave the class. Do you know as well, Jenna, like the beauty of like body work, and like you're talking about the magic of bodies on this show. Like I actually did, one of the things I've resisted a lot is actually weight training. I've always been like, I hate the gym. I hate doing all that stuff. And I love yoga and I love dance. But I actually asked myself recently, what was the thing I was resisting with my body that would actually change things for my body? And it was that. It was like doing weights or whatever. So anyway, I joined the gym. I go to the gym. I really didn't like the gym. It's not fun. It doesn't make me feel expansive when I go there. So it's very weird. And so, I pick up on all the judgments when I go in there of all the people there. So anyway, I find this new yoga center near my house, and they actually have this Yoga Fit 45 class, which is in a hot room, which I love. And then they do all this different, like with the dumbbells, and they do different things. But it's so interesting when I go, like you said, I don't have a point of view. So I let go of any points of views of like how my body should look like, or how long it should take. Because there's so many points of views. Like, well, if you're weight training, it takes 6 months, and all these like interesting points of views, right? So if you let go of all the points of views you have of like what it takes for your body to change or transform or be different, and I go to one class and I see my body transforming in that one class, I see it change. But the big thing for that is to stop and acknowledge it, right? Like acknowledge it's changing. Like you're changing.
What won't work is if you go, did I just change everything? That's not possible. That doesn't ever work. It's like, oh my God, I just changed. My body looks different after one class. Oh my God. How does it get you better than that? What else can you do, body? Ask for more of that. Yeah, that's gyms. I used to work out tons when I was in my 20s. I was dating a big bodybuilder guy when I was in the gym, and I was teaching aerobics. And Gyms are strange because people are in there judging their body. That's why they go, because something's wrong with it. If you go with a different point of view and are very aware of who does it belong to, you can go to a gym and not have to pick up as much of that stuff as you if you didn't have the tools. But it is fun to be strong. I had a blast. I could bench a lot. I could bench press my weight, and that's the girl thing. It's supposed to be really cool if you can bench press your body weight. And it was really fun for me to create that back then. I don't have a lot of desire now, but it's funny to just ask your body what it loves to do. I like dancing. That's my thing that my body likes the most. And for years, there was a class at 9:30 I can go to, this advanced ballet class. It's right behind my house, really easy to go to. And I used to always beat myself up if I didn't go, or if I was home and I didn't go. I started asking my body, not my head, body, would you like to go to class? And sometimes I'd been traveling, jet lagged, just back from some long trip in another part of the world. I'd get up and it'd say yes. And I was like, oh my God, how can we do that? Oh no, you want to go to class, body? And what I did, I always honored whatever it said, yes or no. And those classes would be some of the greatest classes I'd ever taken. And I'd always walk out. This is like the joy of embodiment, feeling so amazing and having so much fun with the class and whatever the teacher was presenting. And there were days it said no. And I was like, you're kidding. We're here. We can go. The kids are out in the house. And like, of course we have to go. That would be my head tripping mind. We have to go to class. Because you need to do it 3 times a week or whatever, right? Or you don't get the training effect. And I wouldn't go, and something would show up, like I'd get a call from a client, or something would happen when I didn't go that was actually creating my life. And I realized, wow, my body is actually creating with me in ways that I have never imagined. It is so much bigger than just what I like to eat. It's actually creating my whole future with me.
I love that. I love that, Glenna. Thanks for mentioning that, because also like, we have a 7-day event, Access Consciousness, every year. And it was last year. And I was like considering the class and, but also head tripping a lot. And anyway, I was sleeping at night and I was actually dreaming that I was at the class. And I was on the massage table and receiving, because it's 7 days, you receive body work every day. Like, it's incredible. You're in Costa Rica, like, it's just like so amazing. And I'd never been to a 7-day, but anyway, I was dreaming I was at the class, and I was in the class and I was receiving body work. And I woke up the next day and I was like, whoa, like that dream was so clear. And I just looked at my body and I was like, are you choosing this body? Like, have you already chosen this? And my body was like, yeah, we're going. And I was like, okay. And there's been times like that where with choices like that, like even body classes, like I remember with body classes being like, my body's like, we're going. We're having this, and I'm like, okay. And everything gets created with ease. Like the money shows up, like my life starts, like everything's rearranged, whether it be like, time away with because I have to leave and my husband's going to be at home. Like, oh, is that going to be tricky? Like, no, like everything gets rearranged because my body's like creating, like you said, creating that future. We're having it, and it's so clear. And when I follow my body always contributes to that.
Yeah. I see that all the time with people that choose the classes that I'm teaching and facilitating, and the classes I choose, to fit them into my schedule, to fly to the Costa Rica class, which 7 days are incredible. What would it take for everything to open up so we get a whole bunch next year? What would it take?
Yeah.
We didn't have a couple of them this year live. We only had online ones.
Yeah.
Lockdowns and craziness of 2020. We're almost done with that. Yeah. 2020 stuff. And how, like, when I first started Access, I had 3 kids. I was a single mom. Money was weird. Child support my ex was not paying. So I think money was really tight, and I chose a 7-day from that energy. And bringing all 3 of my kids was the lightest thing to do, which was outrageous financially for me. Outrageous. And I chose it. I got the energy of my future, like the lightness of what this would create if I went with all my kids. And yeah, the money showed up. I had back child support that actually came in because the California government doesn't let you not pay. And it showed up about a week after I made this demand to go to the 7-day with my kids. And it was greater than I could imagine. We even got first class seats for the price. And I had never flown first class, nor had my kids. So the universe just was like, she just chose, here you go.
I love that. You said so much in that story. Like if people could just like you might want to go back and listen, guys, like to that story, because there's a lot in it. Because it was like first off, you had the awareness, like I required it, like this choice, like this matches the energy of the future I'd like to have. And it doesn't make logical sense. And then like I love that piece you just said, like it was outrageous to bring your whole family like that. Like, okay, you could manage it with yourself, like yeah, you can pull that off with yourself, but all your kids as well. But like you said, like the energy was saying no, kids as well, they're going too. That's what the energy was saying. And you, instead of listening to your logical mind that was like, that's ridiculous, crazy, you can't have that, you can't choose that, you went with the energy, and energy never lies. And then the whole universe was like, well, now because you're saying yes, the universe is like, here you go. And your body's like, here you go. And obviously all your kids' bodies were contributing to that. And it's so amazing because you didn't leave the like logical thinking mind stop you. And even if it's an outrageous choice, the universe is like, here you go. Like, we'll rearrange things, you know?
Yeah, when you say yes to what's going to create more for you, to that what's lighter, what creates a greater future.
But you have to say yes first.
Yes. No, you have to choice create. So when I chose, it wasn't, I need to create this first, and if I get enough money, then I'll choose. I chose, and then the creation starts to occur. It's not after you, it's not you choose and then it creates. It's not you create first and then you choose, oh, okay, now I got enough money. It's totally opposite than we think.
And how many people right now listening to this, or in the future, how many of you look at it in your own life, right? And I still do this in places in my life. How many of you go, well, if I want to choose this, when I have enough money, I'll have it.
Yeah.
How many of you are waiting rather than actually, like you said, choosing it, and then the creation comes?
Yeah. And everything starts to contribute to you in really amazing ways when you choose it. And you don't know what that looks like. You don't have to figure this out. You don't have to control it into place. You just have to keep listening to those whispers. You know, and it's one of the body classes and processes help those whispers get louder. Your body gets louder. Everything gets louder. And you listen to those and you go, oh, that. I mean, this was weird, that weird story. I went online and was looking at, now this is like 15 years ago, maybe not that long, but it was a while ago. And I'm looking online on cheap tickets for flights to Costa Rica. And this thing flashes along the bottom of the screen that says, sometimes first class tickets are the price of coach. And I clicked it. And there was 4 seats on this Delta plane open at the same price as coach tickets. And we got first class, which was just another gift in itself for what was possible for our futures. But it was listening, like I didn't discount that, like first class, I can't fly first class. There's no way I could afford first class. This little thing says, yeah, there is. And I went, oh, that. Listening to the whispers that you usually discount.
And you can't actually hear the whispers of your, like, it's so interesting. Like you said, whispers, like you can't act, because whisper, like it's so quiet, right? The whisper, it's a little feather touch. You can't actually hear the whispers of your body and the whispers of consciousness when your head is so loud.
Yeah.
And one of the beautiful things I hear people ask me all time and time again about body classes and why body classes. And I'm like, because you can have all the information in the world. You can have all the tools in the world. You can know who does it belong to. You can say interesting point of view. But until you embody this and you start to be the tools, you don't really get the magic. Like the magic that could be possible.
Yeah, you're missing a big piece of what's possible. Because we've all embodied on this planet. And what is the gift of that we're not getting? And how can your body contribute to? I mean, there's so many ways this reality discounts the body. It's like this tool you're just supposed to work with, and then it's over with, and whatever, you go to your nirvana, your heaven, your next life, whatever your point of view is. But we keep creating these bodies. What gift are they? That's one of the, like you say, talents and abilities. Just having that awareness of the gift your body is an ability and a talent and a capacity that you start to receive.
Yeah. I love it. The gift of embodiment.
Yeah. I'm going to have so much fun co-facilitating with you.
I'm so excited. You know,
I've had fun in this chat so far.
I know. So I think we're kind of like at the end. I wonder, like, I don't know if like an energy pull, maybe if there's anything like, so like a lot of people are at home, like someone said they'd really like body work right now. Is there anything we could give people right now, like if they don't have anyone like to run processes with, or if they're just with themselves, like a process they could run maybe by themselves, or
like a body process?
Or maybe what about restoration and communion with the earth? Like you can just ask for those energies to run on your body.
Yes, that's a good one. And put your feet on the floor, maybe your hands somewhere on your body, and pull energy through the entire planet, the entire universe, through the earth, up through your feet, and through the top of your head. And just let that flow continue and expand out thousands of miles in all directions. And they did it. My body just felt amazing.
Yeah, it's that quick and it's that easy. And if you're asking to have more orgasmic energy with your body, like, for me, like if I can't, trade with someone or a partner or get a body process run, I get out in nature. Like I go swim in the ocean. I go hug trees. I lie on the earth. Like that's like a body process, melt into the earth.
And the orgasmic energy, I mean, we so discount what it is. We think it's like with orgasms, if you've had those, which most people have probably at least gotten close to, if not had them, you have the energy of that, but it's so much more than that. And just think about when you're really thirsty and you drink a glass of water, right? When you're really thirsty, how amazing that feels. Or you're really hungry and you haven't been able to get food into your body and you take that first bite. That energy is the orgasmic energy. And you can have that when you're sitting here listening to the podcast, when you're walking down the street, just before you go to bed. But the energy, you've all had that. And we don't really notice that feeling when we drink water, when our body's really thirsty. For the gift it really is, and what your body's showing you. So my point of view is like everything you do, everything you eat, everything you should drink should have that as part of it. And can, yeah. Yeah. And you just have to ask, what would it take to have that?
More and more and more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew, wonderful. Wow. Thank you so much, Glenna. I look forward to having Glenna's going to be here in Delray Beach, Florida. We have a 3-day body process class on the beach in our Sunshine State. And it's February the 5th through to the 7th. We do have Spanish translation. And you can also check Glenna out, www.glennarice.com. You're on Facebook.
Yes, Glenna Rice or Dr. Glenna Rice on Facebook is my page, or Glenna Rice. You can just kind of Google that and find me in different places.
Yeah, and go check her schedule out on her website. And her website is in the description of this podcast as well. So you can check her website out there. She also offers this amazing energetic manual therapy class as well. If like more body work and learn more about the body and working with bodies. Could you say maybe quickly what like energetic manual therapy is more the energy of?
It's the energy of a lot of what we've been talking about with bodies. And you're doing some body work that anybody can do on the body. It's more than just the energetic body processes. You're actually physically doing work that addresses the fascial system of the body to allow it to melt in your body, to transform. It's what I've been doing for many, many years as a physical therapist, that I added the access tools. And when I added the tools and the bodies over the years created this, what I'm teaching now, the bodies showed me how to truly change things in such an amazing way. And I love this class.
I love it. And you are actually going to do a taste of her. She's going to do a taste of the energetic manual therapy class when she comes to Florida on the Saturday night. So if any of you are watching and you're local and you want to come to that evening class, there's going to be no prereqs and it'll be a nice introduction to this body of work as well. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to all
everyone.
And the sun. It's been cold and rainy here in San Francisco and snowy in many parts of the States. And it's easy to get to Florida now. And that area isn't all locked down too. Yeah. So if you'd like to have a little freedom from And who knows what the world's like.
Yeah. We've been
some freedom.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks, Glenna. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, everyone. Thank